Welcome to all of you. Today we will going to learn chapter number 3rd, that is Kingdom Plantae. In this we will study Pteridophyta. In previous video we have already learned about bryophytes. In this video we will learn about pteridophytes and gymnosperm. So this pteridophyta word, it is derived from two different words, that is pteron means feather and phyton means plant, that is feather like plant is known as pteridophyta. So if you observe the evolutionary trend of kingdom Plantae, starting from Thallophyta, division Thallophyta, it grown in under the water. From Thallophyta there is development of bryophytes takes place. These bryophytes grown in water as well as on the land. That's why these are known as amphibious plant, or it is amphibious in nature. From bryophytes there is development of pteridophytes. So these pteridophytes, these are feather like plant. Evolutionary pteridophytes are the first vascular plant. In Thallophyta and Bryophyta there is no vasculature. Vasculature means there is absence of vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. So in plants, xylem conducts water and phloem conducts food material. So these water conducting and food conducting tissue, it is absent in Thallophytes and Bryophytes. So it starts develop from Pteridophyta. So this Pteridophyta is known as first vascular plant because xylem and phloem starts develop from the pteridophyte. So that's why these are also known as true land plant. Hence considered as first successful terrestrial plant with true roots, stem and leaves. If you observe the Thallophyte and Bryophyte, there is absence of true roots, stem and leaf. So presence of roots, stem and leaf, it starts from Pteridophyta, division Pteridophyta, and development of vasculature, it is also start from these pteridophytes. So these plants have primitive conducting system and they are only cryptogams with vascular tissue. So these pteridophytes, it consists of primitive type of conducting system. So xylem and phloem tissue which is present in the pteridophyte, it is primitive one, and they are the only cryptogams with vascular tissue. So only this pteridophyte there is presence of vasculature tissue or vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem. So the late Paleozoic era is regarded as age of pteridophytes. The group has about 400 genera and 11,000 species. So if you observe the total number of the genera of the pteridophyte, it is about 400 genera it is present on the earth and 11,000 species these are found on the earth. The plant consists of pinnate, that is feather like leaves. These leaves may be small, called as microphyll. It is observed in Selaginella, and large, called as macrophylls. So in this pteridophyte, true plant body it is present, that is presence of true roots, stem and leaf. That's why the leaves, these are feather like in shape. Leaves may be small, that's why it is also known as microphylls. For example, it is observed in Selaginella. If leaves are large, known as macrophylls, It is observed in Nephrolepis or in the fern. So this is the example, that is Nephrolepis. So if you observe the plant body, it consists of true roots, rhizome it is present, and from that rhizome there is development of the leaves. So this rhizome, it form leaves, and these leaves, it consists of blade, and the shape of leaf, it is feather like. So if you observe this, from back side of the leaf there is presence of microphyls, front, and this is front side, and this whole part it is known as frond. So this is the plant body of fern, or also called as Nephrolepis. Pteridophytes grow in moist, shady places. So these plants, these are generally found in moist, shady places where the percentage of sunlight, it is very low. In that area, or in cold climatic condition, these plants generally grow. Pteridophyte shows sporophytic and gametophytic stages in the life cycle. So if you observe the whole life cycle of the pteridophyte, it consists of sporophytic generation and gametophytic generation. In sporophytic generation, it produces spore. In gametophytic generation, it produces gamete, that is male and female gamete. For example, fern, horsetail, these are some example. Some aquatic plants like Azolla, Marsilia, xerophytic plant, it is Equisetum, and epiphytic, that is Lycopodium. So these are some example of the pteridophytes. Some pteridophyte, these are aquatic in nature, that is grow in water. For example, Azolla and Marsilia. Some, these are found in xerophytic condition where sunlight, the temperature, it is more. In that region, Equisetum it is found. And some species of the pteridophyte, these are epiphytic in nature, that is they grow on another tree trunk. For example, Lycopodium. So these are some species of the pteridophytes. So this pteridophyte shows heteromorphic alternation of generation in which sporophyte is diploid, dominant, and autotrophic and independent. So heteromorphic means it shows two different generations. One is sporophytic and gametophytic. If two similar type of generation it is present, it is known as homomorphic. But if two different generation, that is sporophyte and gametophyte, it produces two different condition. In sporophytic condition it produces spore, in gametophytic generation it produces gametes. That's why it is known as heteromorphic. Hetero means different, morphic means nature. It shows two different nature, that is sporophyte as well as gametophyte. That's why it is known as heteromorphic alternation of generation, in which sporophytic phase it is diploid in nature, while gametophytic phase it is haploid in nature. Sporophyte it is dominant over the gametophytic phase, that is sporophyte it is dominant and gametophyte it is recessive in nature. Sporophyte it is autotrophic in nature, while gametophyte it is parasitic in nature, or it is dependent on the sporophytic phase, and it is independent in nature, while gametophyte it is dependent on the sporophyte. So it is differentiated into root, stem, and leaf. So sporophyte it produces root, stem, and leaves. The primary root it is short-lived as soon as replaced by adventitious roots, while the stem may be aerial or underground. So these roots, primary roots, these are short-lived and it is replaced by adventitious roots. The roots, these are of two types. One is taproot and another is adventitious root. So taproot, it is directly arise from radical of the embryo, while adventitious root, it is not arise from a radical of the embryo, or it produces any part other than the radical. So while the stem may be aerial or underground, leaves may be scaly, it produces scale, it is found in equisetum, simple and sessile, it is found in Lycopodium. Sessile means there is absence of stalk. Leaves without stalk, it is known as sessile leaf. So it is observed in Lycopodium, or large pinnately compound, it is found in Nephrolepis or in the fern. In these members, xylem consists of only tracheids and phloem consists of only sieve cells. So if you observe the tracheidy element or vascular tissue, xylem tissue, it conducts water from root to the leaf, while phloem conducts food material which is prepared in the leaf, which is transferred from leaf to the root. So this is the role of phloem. So xylem consists of tracheid only, and phloem tissue, it consists of only sieve cell. So xylem and phloem in this type of division, these are primitive one, or primary vascular tissue, it is present, that is tracheids and sieve cell. So secondary growth, it is absent in the pteridophyte due to absence of cambium ring. So cambium ring, it is present in between xylem and phloem tissue. So if you observe the vascular bundle, in between vascular xylem and phloem tissue, there is presence of ring called as cambium ring. So this cambium ring, it shows the secondary growth. So this secondary growth, it is absent in the pteridophyte because there is absence of cambium ring in the xylem and phloem. So these pteridophytes, these are classified as Psilopsida, example is Psilotum; Lycopsida, example is Selaginella and Lycopodium; Spinopsida, example is Equisetum; Pteropsida, example is Dryopteris, Pteris and Adiantum. So these are some examples of the pteridophytes. So this pteridophyte, it is divided into class Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Spinopsida and Pteropsida. So these are the four classes of the pteridophytes. Next one is economic importance. So pteridophytes are used for medicinal purpose and as soil binders. Many varieties are grown as ornamental plant. So some variety of this pteridophyte, these are used in the medicine purpose, while some are act as a soil binder because it hold the soil, that's why it is known as soil binder, and many varieties are grown as an ornamental or showy plant. So this is about pteridophytes. Next one, it is silent features of major plant group under phanerogam, that is gymnospermy. So cryptogams, it consists of pteridophytes, and phanerogams, it consists of gymnosperm and angiosperm. So gymnosperms, these are there are about 70 genera and 1000 living species of the gymnosperm, it is present in the world. So it consists of 70 genera, it is found on the earth, and 1000 species which is found in different areas of the earth. So in India, it is represented by 16 genera and 53 species. So 16 genera and 53 species it is found only in the India. So gymnos means naked and sperma means seed. So in this type of division, naked seeds are present. There is absence of flowering. Flowers these are absent in the gymnosperm. Seeds are naked and large in size. They do not enclose within the seed coat. So that's why these are also known as naked seeded plants. There is absence of flowering. While in angiosperm there is presence of flowering. Angios means enclosed. Sperma means seed. So seeds these are enclosed within the seed coat in case of angiosperm, and there is presence of flowering in the angiosperm. So this is the cycas plant. This is the stem of the cycas and this is foliage leaves. This is carollide roots of the cycas plant. This is alganzole, TS of carollide roots of the cycas. So if you take the TS of this root, you will find that there is presence of algal zone in this. So it is the symbiotic relationship between algae and gymnosperm. So it consists of algal zone. Then male cone of the cycas having microsporophyll. So after some years there is development of male cone at the center in the cycas plant. So it is a very slow process, and this male cone it consists of microsporophylls. So these are some microsporophyll it is found. So this male cone it is actually the seed of the plant and it is large in size, that's why it is called as cone. Cone like structure it is present. So this is female cone called as megasporophyll. So this is the megasporophyll of the cycas. So most of the gymnosperm these are evergreen in nature, shrubs or woody trees. These are primitive group of the flowering plants producing naked seeds. They are vascular plants having xylem with tracheids and phloem with sieve cells. So like pteridophyte, gymnosperm it also consists of xylem and phloem tissue. Xylem consists of only tracheary elements while phloem consists of only sieve cells. So these gymnosperm these are evergreen plants. These are shrubby in nature, and some gymnosperm these are grown as woody trees. The length of these woody trees it is very large in size. These are the tallest plant grown about 300 meters. In gymnosperm the stem is mostly erect, aerial, solid and cylindrical. Secondary growth is seen in the gymnosperm due to the presence of cambium ring. So in between xylem and phloem tissue there is presence of ring called as cambium ring. That's why secondary growth it is present in the gymnosperm. So this secondary growth it starts from the gymnosperm. It is absent in the pteridophytes. In cycas it is usually unbranched, while in conifers it is branched. So this secondary growth it is seen in the cycas, it is unbranched. In coniferous plant it is branch in nature. Leaves these are dimorphic in nature. The foliage leaves these are green, simple, needle like or pinnately compound, while scale leaves these are small, membranous and brown in nature. So dimorphic nature means it consists of two types of leaves. One is foliage leaves and another is scale leaves. So foliage and scale leaves these are the two different types of leaves. These are produced in this gymnosperm. That's why these are called as dimorphic in nature. So foliage leaves these are green, simple, needle like and these are pinnately compound, while scale leaves these are small, membranous and brown in nature. Spores, these are produced by the microsporophyll, it is male, and megasporophyll, it is female. So two types of spores these are produced in the gymnosperm. One is microsporophyll, it consists of male gamete, and megasporophyll, it consists of female gamete. Next one, economic importance of this gymnosperm. Cycas, it is grown as ornamental plant, while Pinus, it is used as a source of pine wood, turpentine oil, and pine resin. So these are some example, or these are some content which are extracted from this plant, that is pine wood, turpentine oil, and pine resin. It is obtained from this Pinus, which is used as a source. So this is about gymnosperm. Thank you.